right, this time we do have a good reason for talking about TCG because the pre-release happened.
Exactly. And you know what? You should be glad for it, because if it was my turn to start, we'd be talking about Lauren Boebert.
Oh my god!
Everything that happened with her this past weekend. So y'all should be happy about it,
dude. This week, I learned that apparently musical performance. Apparently, they just have like high intensity infrared cameras for security in those places, which good to know. That's awesome.
So I guess like a PSA. I feel like our conception of like security system standards has not moved past like the year 2000.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what is like on the market as like consumer, like honestly, not even like industrial grade, consumer grade, right?
Yeah.
Is much more powerful than you'd expect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like technology's getting crazy right now. Surveillance states have been a thing. We've known this since literally 9/11. If the government knows when you're jerking off, shouts out to, what's that drummer's name? Louis something. He's in a band called Knower, and they have a song called The Government Knows.
The government knows.
The whole thing is just like the government knows when you masturbate.
Huh.
Louis Cole. That's what his name is. Shouts out to him.
Shouts out to
Louis Cole. If the government knows when you're masturbating, they like a movie theater can know if you're masturbating in the movie theater.
Yeah. Or if you're playing hanky spanky in your seats with some gentleman who's also appreciating the new job she got, and I don't mean employment. I saw that was another thing that
who's a Democrat, who owns a gay bar, and that has events that Lauren Boebert would like. We're not talking about it.
TCA pre-release. All right, OPO4 pre-release happened. I feel like we had wildly different experiences at first, but then they sort of leveled out. We had good end. We finally got good end. The pre-release happened. I went to my local game shop on Friday. I was on the wait list for that one, but I wasn't like accepted on the TCG Plus app. So I just went to shoot the BS and help one of my friends make her Nami deck that she wanted to make. So we bought her a box of OPO3. She bought the box, opened it, and then she went to like the bulk section, was like finding cards she needed for the deck. And then I was just sitting there watching all the people trickle in for the pre-release, and I had pre-ordered my box from there. So I asked him can I just pick up my box now, or are the boxes you have currently only for pre-release? And he was like, yeah, we only got a few of them. So however many of them we're going to use for the packs for the pre-release tournaments, and then the other boxes we don't have enough to sell to everybody, so we're just going to raffle them. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I was the one I actually got accepted to was the following day on Saturday, so I was just coming here for fun. Come to find out that after they do all the raffles, they're like, all right, like the 7 p.m. one, like not everyone's here, so we're going to call from the wait list. My name was the first name. I'm like, F it. Yup, I'm here. Like, let's do it. Got my Luffy promo, opened the 6 packs, pulled a 10-drop Doflamingo in the 6 packs for the draft. Chillin'. I'm good at this point. I got like 2 Daddy Mastersons. Dude, I'm chilling at this point.
Dude, Daddy Masterson.
Yeah, if there's one word to describe pre-release OPO4, is Daddy Masterson. Daddy Masterson.
A character that I struggle to understand when he's from like East Blue.
He's from a filler arc of the anime during East Blue that I think was like before, like it was like either right after Alabasta, before Alabasta. It was like really early on. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It explains why I saw that card and was like, Who the fuck? You know who Daddy Masterson reminds me of? I think it's one of those early ass XZs, the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, Gaga Cowboy, is that it?
Is it Gaga Cowboy?
He's in like a similar stance where like the gun is pointed at the camera.
There's one that's similar. It's not an actual XZ monster. It's like a level 4 or something. It works with that deck though.
Yeah, I will say. Oh my god. No, go ahead, and then I'll share this picture because the gun trading card characters reminded me of this.
I had to play my ass off at the fucking thing at the pre-release because of Daddy Masterson.
Oh, yeah.
Completely changed the game. Especially because I didn't have a Daddy Masterson.
Oh, God, yeah. It's Daddy. He was a problem. In pre-release, in Rainbow format, he's a problem. If you're not familiar. So the pre-releases, the way the sealed format works is that you get 6 packs. Well, you get your promo Luffy card. You get your promo pre-release pack if your store had any left. And then you get your 6 packs. You open the 6 packs, which gives you, there's 12 cards in each?
Correct.
So
72
cards. And you need to boil it down to
40.
So you can pick any leader that you currently own or pulled in the packs, and then 40 cards. And they could be of any color, like the leader doesn't have to match or whatever. So I ran the whole pre-release with Yamato, and he was putting in some fucking work. There was a lot of... I banked completely on the fact that this release had a lot of yellow support for Land of Wano characters, and yeah, it worked out in the end. I found the picture finally. This,
hell yeah,
that's going in podcast notes. Wait, where is my Discord? Oh, it's on the other screen, that's why. This is what they need to add to Daddy Masterson's card. They need to... What episode is this? 297?
I don't know.
It's Gundramon in the Digimon TCG. They censored it for America because, okay, we can let him shoot up our schools, but, showing them, no, we can't do that. But I digress. The coolest effect on this card is in the Japanese one, there is a bullet hole on the actual card, on the side, the Digimon is shooting at you. It looks so cool.
But they said... Dude, what?
Yeah, they censored the gun coming out of the barrel and the bullet hole because they can't have it shooting at you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I also realized... So it wasn't an XZ card. I was thinking of Quick Draw Synchron.
Oh, yep.
Same hat, scarf cape thing.
That's him, Daddy Masterson.
That's Daddy Masterson.
Yeah. But, no, pre-release was sick. Went to Saturday, my actual pre-release. Got there, signed up. I was like, hey, you guys selling boxes? This store, I don't know how many boxes they had, but they were so casual with yeah, we'll sell you a box. There was no, rush of hey, we're running out of boxes. Whoever wants to buy it. It was just... Everybody was chill, and nobody was going crazy, and whoever wanted a box got their box. And so I bought my box, and I waited to open the packs with my girlfriend after the tournament, because I was like, all right, let me, worry about the draft first, and then afterwards I'll open the box, because I don't know what I'll get, but whatever. This draft, first pre-release event, I went, 0-2. And I was like, dude, this blows. Second one, I went 2-2. I would have been 3-1. But the third game, I lost because the guy I played against, I had the game in the bag. I lost because I passed turn. His turn, draws card, he top decked 10 cost Kaido, and that's what did me in. So I'm salty, but it was whatever. It was still fun. Then I opened my box. I got a whole bunch of alt art cards. I'm happy.
Dude, I'm so psyched. Adrian and I did not have a good situation with pre-release, effectively. I, by myself, signed up for one on Saturday. I showed up. They didn't have product. I don't know if they didn't get it or if they didn't reserve enough for the pre-release on Saturday. I don't know. They have a couple different locations. I just don't like that location so much.
Yeah.
Especially after Saturday, I was like, okay, you know what? Nah.
Yeah. We're not doing this.
But I did compete with like a constructed thing. Like they were like, oh, we're doing a constructed event. So I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm already here. I resigned myself. This is like my Saturday. Except for the fact that cards have to match the region you're playing them in. And I have Japanese cards because the structure decks have only been reprinted in Japanese. So I had to construct something like the moment of.
That's so BS.
So it was pretty stressful. I wish I could have just like played my Nami deck. Because like my game sense revolves around the Nami deck. It's the only thing I've really played. And because the Nami deck is a different game altogether, I'm effectively inexperienced in normal One Piece TCG. So that was rough. Couldn't even buy a box. Couldn't like that. We just couldn't do it. So we get home and Adri and I both sign up for an event on Sunday, the next day. But it's fucking packed. 16 spots, and we were last in the waiting list, basically.
Oh my god.
It was crazy. I don't know if we were last in the waiting list or if we were like halfway through it. So 16 spots, we were 17 and 18 on the waiting list.
Oh my god.
I know that for a fact, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, this isn't going to happen, but we stuck around. We stuck around because, like, maybe we could, like, buy singles off of people. Maybe we could see what's up. Maybe we could just, like, play around. Who knows? What ended up happening was 8 people dropped from, like, the initial 16. And they were, like, filling up the spots with the waiting list. Adri and I were the last 2 to get in.
Oh, hell yes.
We like slid in by the skin of our fucking teeth, dude.
Yes.
And we were so happy that we at least got that. But on one hand, we're like neither of us have like enough sleeves, right? Like I want to sleeve these cards. Like I'm going to be shuffling them and shit. I want to sleeve them. On the other hand, like we're not experienced in draft format. We barely know what half the cards do. It was a bit much, but like some people around were pretty helpful in some ways, and the community at that shop was much nicer. I went 1-3, and I feel bad because my one win was against Adri.
Oh no.
So very A2 Brute.
The team kill.
Yeah, no, it sucked. But I will say every single match I had was extremely close.
Oh,
every single one. And I find some solace in that, at least. Because, like, being ill-prepared, not having studied up, not being a sweat lord about OPO4, all of that, and still, like, coming up really, really close. My second match, I straight up lost by 1 Dawn.
Oh, damn.
Like, literally 1 Dawn.
Yeah.
And my first match, I think, like, had I had one more turn, I would have won.
Damn.
So, like, really, really close, right?
Yeah.
And even the one that I, like, won against Adri, that was really close, too. It was just, like... Either way, it was fun. I met some people. Shout outs to Ralph. I doubt. Could you imagine? That'd be awkward. Like going to locals, kind of meeting someone, they use their like real name and then they listen to a podcast and it's like, oh shit, that's me.
Yeah, oh god, that's me.
But like, thanks to him, I was able to like complete like a usable Nami deck.
Oh, nice.
Something that uses a lot of the like Kaya bounce tech, but doesn't rely on it exclusively.
Yeah.
So I'm in a really happy spot thanks to him.
Hell
and
yeah.
all in all, it was pretty chill. I wish we could have bought product. That store only had the one box for that pre-release.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm gonna figure out how to get out early on Friday and just fucking go to the shop, buy my shit, and skedaddle. And if I'm lucky, I might be able to sell that alt art Sabo.
Oh yeah.
To be able to like pay for another box.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing in my box. I got alt art Queen, the leader card, which is basically the price of a box and a couple extra. It's like 120 or something like that.
Something like that.
I do not want to play Queen, like, at all. Like, I look at the Queen card and I'm like, I have no want to play this deck. And even if I do, I have the regular leader, so, like, I'm cool. If I want to play it, I'll play the regular artwork of the leader. Like, I don't care. But I'm going to use that as leverage to get the alt art. That price tag on that card puts me closer in range to getting an alt art Doflamingo leader, which, like, I would be cool running the regular Doflamingo leader, but now that I have this card that I just absolutely do not want, like, dude, I'm gonna use it to get what I actually want now.
Dude, same. Like, I don't feel bad about selling the alt art Sabo, because for me, it's like, okay, I am interested in playing, like, the Dressrosa blue black or like green like, black.
Yeah.
But I don't need the alt art. Like, I'm not a Sabo fanboy. I don't go out to bat for him.
Yeah. Like, he's a good card in those decks you want to play, but like, you could just get the regular version for like way cheaper.
Exactly.
Probably. Like,
if I use him to discount another box, then a fucking I end up winning. Because hoping. I have just chances to get more copies of the regular Sabo.
Yeah, look, here's hoping. I will end the TCG talk with this. Pre-release was good. If you're interested in OP04, it's coming out officially on Friday, the 22nd of September. So if you're interested in the game at all on that day, you can go to your local game shop and probably pick up product, or if you want to try your luck at like Target and other stores like that, they'll have some for probably that day, and then they'll be sold out within an hour. So
yeah, that it's definitely going to be something.
Yeah,
and I feel like big box stores only carry like 3 boxes or something. So, you know,
yeah.
I wonder. I want to disincentivize people from being the person that there's a reason there's a fucking sign at the card section that says you can only buy like 2 Pokemon booster packs, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Granted, that had a lot of other factors behind it, but
yeah,
I would still rather avoid that. Support your local game shops if you have them.
Yeah.
It's you're like, I'm really lucky that this other shop that I found, they're really, really swell. They do TCG player price matches, unless it's like a 1 cent card, then they'll like charge you something different. Like they have like a minimum depending on the card game. But like I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Like,
if you buy a 1 cent card anyway, you have to pay shipping on almost all those cards anyways. So
that's what I'm fucking talking about. So like, instead of like paying for 1 cent, I'm paying like 20 cents. I don't particularly care.
Yeah.
Because 1, I'm not paying for shipping, and 2, I'm like, supporting a business on margins. It's like, I'm not penny pinching, thank goodness. I don't need to worry about 20 cents.
Yeah.
And on them, they make a okay amount, I guess, off the margins on that.
Yeah.
So like that to me, a totally decent strategy for how they sell off singles.
Yeah, my local game store has like boxes of bulk that are just like, you can dig through it. If you find what you need, every card in there's 50 cents. Go at it. So I've gotten so many cards, spent like, for the crocodile deck, I think, for the crocodile and the film deck, because Nami is like the rarest card for the film deck, but they had like all the Luffys, all the Brooks, they had like every other film card in there. So I got like, I basically made my whole deck for like $20-something, $30, I think. Because I was extra and I bought some extra cards that I was theory crafting. Like, this might be good in the set. Let me play test it and test it out. So, but yeah, support your local game shop. Here's hoping, I'm putting this in the universe, Franz, that you and me, either one of us, when we get, for all that you went through for the pre-release hell, I'm manifesting it, that in your box, you're going to get the manga Sabo artwork that's $700.
If I get the manga Sabo that's worth $700, I'm straight up just going back and being like, hey, I'll take a loss on this. I'll take a loss on this fucking piece of cardboard. And like, market price is going to be $700 for like weeks.
Yeah.
Just give me 6 boxes.
Yeah.
I like, is it unfair? Relatively, sure. I'll take the loss to just fucking get 6 boxes, dude.
Fuck it. Dude, yeah, that's how I feel about the, like, even if they don't charge me market price, like a little bit under for the Queen card, I'm like, dog, like the Queen card and any other card I get are just going towards that Doflamingo. If I could just, like, I thought about it too, because if I got the manga Sabo artwork, like, honestly, I think I would just take it to my game store and just bring a list of like cards I need to complete like other decks I'm playing, and I would just get all of those to complete it, and then just whatever else, like, give me another box, I guess, I don't care. like
fucking dude,
because at that point with like a manga Sabo, you could like max rarity like any deck pretty much,
bro. With a manga Sabo, you could buy 2 competitive Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Dude,
yeah, 1.5 competitive Yu-Gi-Oh
Let's
decks.
Go.
Dude. We're an honorary One Piece TCG podcast. We're not officially a One Piece TCG podcast.
We might as well be, though.
We might as well be, yeah. All right. I hereby dub that we are an official secondary job class One Piece TCG podcast, but we are main job class a One Piece. We're a Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast where we review the latest chapters of One Piece and have a different One Piece related discussion every single week. My name is John.
My name is Franz.
And I was so hyped for pre-release that honestly I like forgot day of that there was a chapter, and then I was like, oh my god, like there's a chapter. And then I read it and I was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
It's funny because, like, Eye in the Sky, Lurking Legend, Billy shouts out, all I get in the middle of the night is chapter 1092.
Oh, hashtag in podcast
notes. Woke. Yeah, let me grab this image.
Dude,
it's
I saw it.
Deep fried shack image.
I saw that. That was the greatest fucking
and like, you know, the riddles, the messages that we get are at times cryptic, hard to decipher, but like the best of things sometimes, in retrospect, made so much sense.
Yeah. Dude, it was so funny. Because he had told me, he was like, when you read the chapter, like, let me know, because there's a couple things we gotta talk about. And then, like, I just checked Discord while trying to go to sleep, and I see that. I'm like, oh no. But, dude, such a good chapter. 1092, Kuma the Tyrant's Holy Land Rampage. And I absolutely love the little reader request. Jinbei being smushed by giant cuddly remoras by Kataha Jime. And, like, this, like, okay, so little, if you don't know about animal zoo books lore, remoras are, like, the little fish that have, like, symbiotic relationships with, like, a lot of sharks. So they'll, like, latch on to sharks, and they'll eat, like, bacteria and other stuff, like, off the shark's skin. And the shark just chills. Like, it'll eat, like, the kind of stuff that causes, like, fin rot and other, like, weird bacteria and, like, stuff. They'll, like, latch onto sharks and eat it. And so these ones are just latching onto Jinbei and his little face, like, oh, brother. This is one of the cutest, like, reader requests.
And like, it's funnier because they're fucking giant too.
Yeah.
And they're just latching onto him. A whale shark, which is typically the kind of shark that you would see with, like, these things all over it.
Yeah.
Like, shouts out to Oda for loving animals as much as, like, a little kid does, you know?
Yeah. Dude, Oda has 2 books in his room. He has, the
Das
communist
Kapital.
He has Das Kapital and then a stack of zoo books from the infomercial. And he's ready. He's locked and loaded on either side.
Those are 2 things he knows. See, everyone theorized.
He is missing the dinosaur copy, though, which is why Wano got a little weird. He had to improvise on the fly.
Yeah, he's like sitting there and it's like, Triceratop, big thing, spin?
Yeah, helicopter? Oh, God.
Damn, I had to, like, fight every urge to be like, Sasaki OP 04 best card.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good, but
alas, we've moved on. And moving on we shall to Mary Joie, the previous day. And everyone's yelling, oh, he's finally climbed up to the top. Soldiers, stop him at once. The invincible slave has returned. We can't. He's unstoppable. And Kuma's being, like, chained up. The Holy Guard are trying to stop him the best that he can. And they try as they might. They just can't fucking stop him.
Yeah.
To the point that he does an Ursa shock, gets them all away from him. And he's there smoldering in a crater. And in the distance comes in, oh, what do you think you're doing here? First the revolutionaries the other day, now this. You must answer for this historic destruction, Kuma. It's fucking Akainu.
Dude, insanity. And even, like, so we had heard about it from the Revolutionary Army, like, I think the chapter, like, right before Sabo came back. It was right when all of the Reverie business had finished and they reconvened on in New Kamaland. And he's like, they were like, oh, our revolutionary armies have done good. Like, we've destroyed, like, a really big food deposit for Mary Joa, like, for the Holy Land. Like, they're basically, like, going after their food supply and, like, starving them. And we actually see, like, the soldiers, like, oh, like Sakazuki, and he gets immediately stomped on, and the Celestial Dragon's like, these soldiers are worthless. Akaido, I'll have you know that last night I ordered the lobster, and they had the gall to tell me they were out. This has never happened before. What's become of Marijoa's food supply? That's not the most important thing. I've been brutally injured just now. Hurry up and put that tyrant slave Kuma to death. And all the while, Sakazuki is just, he just does it. He's just not paying attention to them at all. Like, because we know that he, like, hates serving them, but like,
yeah, it's the kind of thing where, like, the position of fleet admiral it seems that only Garp was smart enough to like know ahead, or I guess disdainful of the celestial dragons enough
Yeah.
to be like, I just don't want to be their like personal fucking lapdog. So
Yeah.
let me not. I do think Akainu's like, quote unquote, handling it well, just not listening and just being like, hey, yo dog, like
his job. Yeah,
if
job.
we can't put a lid on this,
I'm
gonna fuck you up.
Like,
let's be real.
His job is not CP0's job to watch the celestial dragons. Like, his job is like to take out the threat that is Kuma right now. Because
right, because he's a fucking threat. He's doing more damage than has been very recently done.
Yeah, he like nuked the town square, like, and even Akainu's like, listen up, Kuba, if we can't maintain control of you, then we certainly can't afford to have you on the loose, where you can be a danger to the public. You lost your free will long ago, I'm told. So if you're no different from a dead man, then where do you think you're going? And he shoots a hellhound and like, same thing as Whitebeard, he like chunks a piece of his face off.
Dude, like, one trick pony ass.
Yeah.
He even has the gall to comment like, at least you bleed like a man.
Yeah.
But Kuma skedaddles, because this isn't his objective.
Yeah, which is like, okay. So me and the Lurking Legend Billy were talking about this a little bit. So yeah, Akainu's like, not so fast, Kuma, and he tries to trap him in magma to like kill him, the final blow, and Kuma poofs himself away. But like, so why all of the how do I word this? Why was there such like, why was he hell-bent on reaching Merjoa and then just as fast like poofing himself away?
I wonder,
because I don't think it was like, because it's a thing where it seems, and I mean, this could just be me like inserting headcanon, but the way it was shown to us, it really felt like he had like, it was some kind of robotic, almost like mission directive, like must get to top, he had to get to the top, right? Like nothing was stopping him. He was this unstoppable force, just like getting to the top of the red line. And then once he got here, like he just poofed himself away. So my thing is like, was the goal always to poof himself away, or like, is he actually after something? Or
so I distinctly recall that he just slammed into the red line. He was like, he had poofed himself away from Kamabaka Kingdom and slammed into the red line. And now that I'm looking it up, Kamabaka Kingdom is before the red line.
Oh, so okay, so he's trying to get to Egghead then.
I think that's 100% for sure.
Okay, because me and Billy talked about it, and I didn't even think about that, but I had proposed, like, was he maybe getting to the top so that he had enough height to, like, when he did blast himself, he could fly farther because he was higher up?
I think it was just, like, an instance
like, literally
of,
just
like,
trying to get over it. Like,
just trying to get over it. Like, he fucking hit a net, and he was like, let me get around it.
Yeah.
But he hit the worst fucking thing possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. That makes a lot more sense.
I'm really, really sure that he slammed right into the red line. Actually, okay, I looked up his article on the One Piece wiki, Rest in Piss. I hate the fandom wiki so bad. The wording is verbatim. He slammed into the red line and fell down to Redport.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense then.
So yeah, he is for sure trying to get to Egghead. And, like, okay, so Akainu, like, chunks his head, like, oh, you bleed. And Kuma runs off, but not before Akainu clips one of his feet. And we get a flashback. It is Akainu's flashback,
dude,
where he's talking to Bonnie.
Oh, dude, I have wanted. I know I've brought this up before. So
long ago, yeah.
We have brought it up multiple times because it's always been like, what the hell? Like, what was happening between the two of them? Like, why was Bonnie so important that Akainu accepted her as payment to let Blackbeard go? Like, what the hell is up with? And we finally get at least a glimpse of what it was about.
Here, he's recalling saying to her, "Bark all you like, but Kuma's mind will not return to him. He volunteered to be reborn as a weapon of war." And the really depressing line, and kind of like edges me a bit towards the like, oh, maybe she's just a child.
Yeah, there's something later this chapter that also makes me think that, but
but the line she said, like, liar, he would never choose to do such a thing. He would never leave me behind. And so, like, I'm always the person to talk about juxtaposition. The fact that this man finally got away from the red line and from Mary Joie specifically, and now we're getting a flashback relating to the tenuous relationship between him and Bonnie.
Yeah.
100% he's going to Egghead.
Yeah. Oh, man. And even Akainu, like, the Celestial Dragons keep yelling at him, and he's like, ignoring them again, talking to himself, like, where would you go? A mere puppet with no mind or will left. It's like, dude, yeah, he's definitely going to Egghead, like, which now begs the question, like, what exactly did Bonnie see in the memories?
Dude, I've got no clue. That's a huge missing puzzle piece.
Oh, man.
I feel like metaphorically we've constructed the border of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And we're just missing one huge ass piece.
Yeah, we've constructed the outer edge of the puzzle, and now all of the centerpieces are the same color, so we don't know where they go. But, oh, dude, it's crazy. Speaking of Egghead, without Kuma there yet, we go to Egghead, and the Pacifista Mark IIIs are like blowing up all of the sea beasts, the sea beast weapons, and dude, it's so like they're like falling underwater. They have like X's over their eyes and little bandages. Like it's so sad. No,
dude, rip and piss. They don't deserve this.
Yeah,
Oda would never kill an animal. They'll be back. That's why Pell didn't die.
Yeah.
Pell was an animal, therefore couldn't die.
Oh shit, does that mean Pound has a zone fruit confirmed?
I'm willing to confirm it.
You heard it here first, folks. Poundy Pussy has a zone devil fruit, the likes of which the world has never seen.
We haven't seen someone with the cat fruit, have we?
Not like a regular form of it. I mean, Who's Who had like the Sabretooth version.
Right. Ancient model,
and,
right.
Well, yeah, not like a domesticated house cat, like a regular cat. Because what's his face? Rob Dumbass has the Jaguar fruit. Or
right. Fucking feline fruit, model pussy.
yeah, model pussy. Oh,
we got
God.
there.
Mythical. Oh, wait. Cat fruit. Mythical type. Thomas. That's the one we need to see. And that's then the mouse fruit mythical type Jerry.
Wait, there was that interview Oda did with some other mangaka, and they didn't agree as to who they sympathized with between Tom and Jerry.
Oh, dude,
So based on that interview and who Oda sympathized with, that's the fruit that's the even more ancient name of the Nika fruit.
Yes. The ancient deity of goofs and gaffs, Jerry. Oh, jeez.
Tom D. Cat.
Tom D. Cat. Like SpongeBob, Gary D. Snail.
Oh God. So we're back here. Everyone's like, the Navy's there. They've secured the Fabrio phase. Kizaru's still fighting Luffy, and Luffy's going at him with Snake Man, which to me is really funny to get this, like, I guess, so to speak, like, off-screen rationale. Because in my brain, Luffy's ideology behind this is, damn, he's really fast. You know, I don't know shit about how fast light is. Let me do the fastest thing I can.
Yeah. He is actually, like, getting hits on him. I mean, whether they're effective or not, whatever, but he's landing hits on him. You can see the sparks. I don't like, dude, like, Luffy, honestly, honest to God, the Nika fruit is working. He truly believes himself to be faster than light. Like, he is going toe-to-toe with Kizaru, with Snake Man.
The zone fruit imparts and bends everything else around it. Jonathan, what happens when you bend the fabric of space-time?
Oh shit, he's gonna time travel.
He's gonna time travel. He's gonna make black holes. It doesn't matter shit. Because, like, the speed of light, right?
Yeah.
The speed of light being the fastest thing possible assumes Euclidean space, which means that our space-time is flat. It's just a 2D plane, so to speak, metaphorically. It's 3D, you get it, whatever. Imagine a 2D plane. It's just completely fucking flat. And according to observations, and I think there's like a paper out with the JWST that's like even just reestablishing the flatness of our universe is like incredibly precisely flat. So in bending space-time, we get non-Euclidean space-time.
Hell yes.
Therefore, you can get, at least like in a local sense, non-Euclidean, similar to like a black hole, faster than light. Luffy did it.
Dude, this non-Euclidean space is our plastic polymer.
See, like, Oda doesn't understand, but I understand. Because every night, I go to sleep watching PBS Space-Time. Shouts out to Dr. Matt O'Dowd.
Hell yes. Oh, God, but... Dude, so, okay, Luffy utilizing non-Euclidean man, his brand new Gear 4 form, is, he's going at Kizaru, and Kizaru's like, I can see why you're the man who defeated Kaido. Very powerful stuff. However, I must ask, what brings a pirate like you to step in and protect a man like Vegapunk? And Luffy just responds, that's what I'm asking. Why do you want to kill the Apple Man?
Love him. Love a man who doesn't know anybody's name.
Yeah. And we get, like, super interesting. He teleports away, and he's like, I don't want to. And Luffy's like, oh my god, I love this panel of Luffy Gear 4, like, putting his hand on his forehead, like, oh my god, how did he fly away that far? Like, but... Kizaru's just like, I don't want to kill him, obviously. I've known Vegapunk for a long time, so I'd appreciate you staying out of this. Acceleration is power. And we get him, like, basically just become a freaking railgun. Like, he just accelerates constantly until he materializes and, like, blasts Luffy with a kick. Mind you, like, we get Kizaru thinking, and it's like, I've completed the Vega Force 1, a giant robot, the dream of mankind. Put a pin in that. We see, like, Kizaru kicks Luffy through Vega Force 1, and you can see in the following page, Vega Force 1 is split in half, and Luffy gets kicked into the labo phase, like the barrier.
Yeah.
And explodes. So Luffy is like dead, mind you. Like he's shot into the barrier and explodes.
It's much funnier specifically because he explodes.
Yeah. Like,
oh man, the Sunny falls down and everyone else in it, and Lilith orders everyone to run, and because apparently the Vega Force 1 is like powered by, I don't know, fucking mumbo jumbo science. It's gonna explode.
yeah.
And like, oh no, the robot of our dreams. While the Sunny has not been assessed for damage.
Yeah.
And Frankie's trying to square up. Which I respect.
I respect it, dude.
Especially because like there is some degree of, we got cock teased, dude. Like Kizaru doesn't focus on Frankie whatsoever. He focuses on Bonnie and is like, oh, look at you, you're so big right now. Kids these days grow so fast, which this has like pulled me further back from fucking she's like a baby but all grown up. Like I think she's the age here that we see her as. This is default Bonnie.
Yeah.
And he continues like, oh, didn't you hate Dr. Vegapunk for what he did? There's orders for his assassination. Like, you could do that. And Bonnie goes at him. He dodges and kicks her in the back of the fucking head. Like, he gives a quote-unquote love tap because there's a little onomatopoeia that just says tap. But she gets flown away and also gets exploded.
She also explodes.
All the while he's saying, I'd rather not to hurt any acquaintances outside of my mission parameters. And this is when Frankie's about to hit him with a radical beam that, you know, he invented himself, not really like knowing anything about Kizaru's powers, just having seen Kuma do that shit.
Yeah.
I wish he would have launched it off, but nope, Kizaru's gone.
Dude, this part is so like, Kizaru's gone. He's like, where'd he go? Unless the Stella's in trouble. It's like, come in control. He's trying to get a hold of Usopp. And Usopp's trying to talk to them, but the radio is like broken. And we get Control Tower Labo phase. Frankie, are you okay? We heard a huge blast out there. And Vegapunk, Eureka! The code is cracked! And Nami's like, really? And then I love Atlas. In your face, York!
And her like shit ass face too, like, oh, you stupid geniuses.
Frankie, we can lower the barrier now. Are the Vega Force 1 and your ship around the back now? About that. And then this is so freaky, but I love it. Like, your escape plan is a failure, Vegapunk. I've blown your so-called giant robot of dreams to smithereens. And everyone's like, huh? And you turn the page and he's in the middle of all of them. Like, he's just there. Like, he's hard just phased his way through. And everyone's reaction is just like,
Man, a man who could move at the speed of light, just a bit fucking freaky.
Yeah,
but he tries to, like, I don't know what emotion he's going for, but he goes like, please understand, a Nintendo voice, please understand.
Yeah, please understand.
This is very difficult for me too. I'd rather not draw it out. And an explosion off in the distance.
Kaboom.
And just, that hurt. And then, bam, giant Luffy just fucking full ass gripping him.
Ooh, that was a bit spicy. What? Everyone's freaking out. I wish the Dawn wasn't right in front of Atlas's face, because her face looks like it's so funny right now.
Oh, yeah, I wish.
But, oh, dude. We get Kizaru, who, mind you, drawn with, like, a sweat drop. So I'm like, oh, God, like, the fact that,
Gulp?
yeah. Gear 5, gulp. The fact that Luffy's able to grab him is already like, oh my god. But then the fact that he's like, oh, so this is the thing you do. And he's like sweating, and he's like, Luffy's just laughing, and you can see the drums of liberation going on again. He's like, thanks for knocking me all the way down, jerk. Almost thought I was gonna die going through that barrier twice. Same thing as with Kaido. I think he did, like, die, quote unquote, because the drums are going haywire right now.
And you know what? It might be the case. It genuinely might be the case. But I think what's like... He's already grabbed lightning before.
Yeah.
Things aren't gonna matter. Like, especially because, like, okay...
This is beyond non-Euclidean space. This is Toon Force.
Our understandings of space-time are thanks to general relativity. Because before general relativity, we had Newtonian models of physics, which is what most people study in like secondary school, right?
Yeah.
General relativity was thanks to a little man called Einstein.
Ooh.
Here we have Einstein and a motherfucker made of light, which is like the bending of light is how we were able to observe, like, oh shit, this motherfucker was fucking right.
Yeah.
And like,
that's actually a cool connection, whether intentional or not. But
whether
I feel like
intentional
it
or
is,
not,
like,
yeah, I don't actually genuinely think that Luffy's gonna like fucking bend light so bad that like we get some pseudo black hole effect.
Oh no, obviously.
Unless, hold on,
but he will stretch him into like a bow and arrow and then fling him into a wall.
Yes, I do think though, like we just have to craft the gag. If we are able to craft the gag, we might be able to predict the goings on of this battle. So I can see that, like, it might not be like literally like a black hole type effect, but if he grabs Kizaru's like light beam body in the same way he grabbed the lightning versus Kaido and starts pulling him back, and like what that would do is like there's it would be the similar kind of effect of a black hole. The light cannot escape it. The light cannot move fast enough to leave. So we might get something, but I don't know. I'm not one, I don't actually know that much about physics, but also two, I'm not a gag crafter, okay?
Yeah.
I need to work on my chops for that.
We gotta think about what would be funniest in this situation.
And like, I can't, because how serious Kizaru looks all the time, like, he always looks so flippant yet serious. I cannot yet imagine what flavor of gags we're gonna get.
Yeah.
And that'll determine.
Like, the fact, like I said, the fact that he even has a sweat drop on him, like, mind you, the only other person to do this to him was Ben Beckman at Marineford. And that was somebody holding a gun to him. Like, they weren't even touching him. Luffy, like, has his fist wrapped around Kizaru. Like, you could argue, like, I don't think he'll be able to phase out of Luffy's hands because of Toon logic. Luffy's gonna, like, do something.
Like, could it be, like, Kizaru's not a goofy enough guy to Toon logic himself out of Luffy's Toon logic.
Yeah.
Like, which you have to, in order to beat Luffy in Gear 5, you have to, like, one, actually just have gotten really close to actually killing him, or two, you have to be on a similar wavelength to capitalize on the Toon Force.
Yeah. You have to be the Tom to his Jerry. Like that's the only way they could defeat him.
And I feel, dude, the only person that could beat Luffy in the whole One Piece universe, Usopp.
Usopp. Yes. Oh my god. Usopp can amplify or destroy Luffy's powers based on if he wants to help or not.
Which is exactly like the wave function, thanks to quantum physics and the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Like, look, just think about this. Usopp is assisting Luffy from far away, and he shoots in his slingshot for Luffy to use a whoopee cushion. Luffy is now unstoppable. Luffy, given one whoopee cushion, like, can defeat all of that.
Hear me out. So, like, imagine, like, Luffy and Usopp, like, facing each other, but, like, 2 miles away. And Luffy's, like, fighting, like, Kizaru, like, right in front of him, right? Like, Kizaru's right in front of Luffy. Usopp shoots the whoopee cushion. And, like, Luffy reels back to, like, slam down. And then in that, catches the whoopee cushion, but still has the momentum of slamming down. And slams down on Kizaru. Whoopee cushion first before the fist.
Yes.
If that would have the effect of, like, a literal fucking nuke.
Yeah.
Like,
a funny nuke.
Hyper reverb effect, fart sound, but, like, nuke. Oppenheimer footage.
Luffy, dude. The idea of Luffy punching a whoopee cushion and it being just hyper reverb is like...
Okay, we're with Gear 5, we're getting, like, ye old Looney Tunes sound effects, and we're...
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where we're pulling out, like, good old Hanna-Barbera type shit, while Toei is also pulling out stuff from the annals of their library.
Yeah.
But I propose, if anyone in the One Piece team listens to us, on one hand, shouts out to you all. Y'all are doing God's work. I really understand why you do it, and I appreciate the work you do. Like, literally going through and pulling a fucking director's cut on a property like One Piece without, like, pay effectively.
Yeah.
Insane. But if I may ask, one Gear 5 episode, but give it, like, the Zoomer edit.
Oh my god, yes. We need the Kaido fight, but the Zoomer cut, the Zoomer edit.
Like, okay, so we have
hashtag release the Zoomer cut.
We have the Boomer cut, which is the episode as is, right?
Yeah.
The Millennial cut is, like, videos that we saw on Twitter of, like, with like the Ed and Eddie sound effects, right?
Yes.
The Zoomer cut is Vine Boom sound, reverb fart, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
mole.
Yes, yeah, like, I implore you, whoever you may be listening to this, answer my siren call. We need, as a society,
the Zoomer cut.
The Zoomer cut.
We absolutely need it, dude.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. We gotta have it.
Yeah.
While I'm looking that up, tell us about the last 2 panels that we've neglected for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we have neglected for the last 10 minutes, but they're honestly really good, and there's a lot to unpack from 2 panels. Based on everything else we know. So, okay, the setup of the final double page spread is like big panel, Luffy grabbing Kizaru freaking out. And then a giant space in between the next 3 panels. Or a giant space, and then you get the next 3 panels. So they're supposed to be read sequentially, like back to back. They're part of like that group of panels. So they're supposed to be read like together. So you see the heartbeat. you see the laughter, and then you see the heartbeat, the drums of liberation. And again, thanks for knocking me all the way down, jerk. Almost thought I was gonna die going through that barrier twice. And then we get the drums of liberation going, and then we get a zoom in on the robot that we saw so many chapters back at like the beginning of Egghead, the robot from the Ancient Kingdom. And then, like, as the drums of liberation are going, we just get the eyes light up, just whoom, like Shaq woke meme. Like, this is
it's so good.
Yeah,
I have no idea, because like there was a mystery to the robot. They could never get it to stand up. Vega Force 1 is based off it, but they don't.
Yeah,
they still don't know how it works, though.
yeah, because there's been all of this like talk about the reactor, like the reactor that has like the power of the sun that like Vegapunk built, and like all this stuff. And we know that Vegapunk like made all of this technology based on his research for the robot and the ancient. He wanted to like rebuild the ancient civilization that the robot was part of. Because I think it was when we got to the ancient robot, he was like, no, this robot is like from the past. Like the ancient civilization is way ahead of us. And then like technological wise, and then they got wiped out. So like I can see the parallel of like the generator powered by the sun, this robot powered by the sun god Nika, like the drums of liberation and such.
Okay.
So so the sun god, I'm thinking that whatever ancient civilization this was from, I don't know if it was maybe like the original inheritor of the Nika fruit was like a part of that civilization, or like its founder or something, or
I wonder, because like the
something,
Joy
but it's
Boy
definitely
last dated to pre-Void Century and existed during the Void Century.
Yeah.
Same as like this civilization, same as this robot.
Yeah, and it's, oh man, it's interesting to think about, because like, okay, already the talk earlier this chapter, the doubling down of like, oh, the Vega Force 1 was like the robot of our dreams. All of the theming of Egghead being about like, you know, the devil fruits are just like people's dreams, basically, like given form. Like I have no doubt that this robot is gonna be the one that helps the Sunny like get out.
It
like,
has to be.
Yeah,
it's going to like get them somewhere, especially because Vega Force 1 could not operate outside of Egghead.
Yeah.
But this guy clearly is not where he's from, unless Egghead is where the previous civilization existed.
Yeah.
But he's working okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm still working on looking at different sound effect gear fifths.
Yes.
And I'm not finding anything satisfying, but I have found one that's with SpongeBob sound effects.
Oh, that's good. I love the classic the Kaido face chimp noise.
Oh yes, chimp noise is really good.
Chimp noise is chef's kiss.
But
yeah, dude, it's so, I want more already, but it's so interesting because I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I can see that being the case. Like, okay, the robot is powered by Joy Boy. So now it's like, okay, what happened in this ancient civilization that like was Joy Boy's disappearance like the downfall of the civilization? Like, what were all the things
powered by the sun, powered by hopes and dreams?
Yeah. Like, are they powered by hopes and dreams, or like, is it powered by like the fun? Is it powered by the drums of liberation? Like, you know, the song and dance of Joy Boy.
I wonder.
Because
I think there's an argument to be made. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there is, if we go down that route, there is a theory that I saw somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it. I saw it on Twitter. So if you came up with this theory, kudos to you. It's good, but it's basically that in the scene with Sabo and Cobra, where he's like he's trying to help him escape from the elders.
Yeah.
Like Cobra gets hit by Emu, but specifically he gets hit by this thing that's like, it's like a tentacle, but it has like an arrow tip at the end of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, that, like, okay, like with the goofiness of Gear 5 introduced to the series, and like this arc, the devil fruits being talked about as like the people's dreams, like given form or whatever.
Yeah.
It also is interesting to bring up in Water 7, or in Ines Lobby, when Khalifa and Kaku were given devil fruits, and they're like explaining the way devil fruits work to them, and the specific wording is that like if you eat the devil fruit, you're cursed by the sea devil, and like you lose the ability to swim or whatever.
Yeah.
And so everybody, like, I saw a theory talking about like, what if the sea devil is Emu's fruit, and like it's not like this, Christian sort of edgy berserk artwork styled devil that we think of, but it's like a cartoon, like search up like Looney Tunes devil.
Yeah, something like the Cuphead devil.
So yeah, the Cuphead devil, like some 1920s like cartoon devil. And a lot of them, they have the same thing. They have that tail with the little arrow at the end, and it's like maybe that's what it was. Maybe like Joy Boy represented like the dreams of people, and whatever Emu did, like directly took away those people's hopes and dreams, and that's why the civilization crumbled, because without those, none of the machinery or any of the technology like functioned.
Yeah.
With the introduction of that kind of despair, like all of their stuff just like stopped working, and that's how they lost the war.
People effectively didn't remember how to dream, which I guess it kind of mirrors like a contemporary socio-political discussion of like,
yeah,
why is there so much pushback against like leftists' ideals? Whatever you think of like leftism, there's some degree of pushback no matter what you refer to as leftism.
Yeah.
And why is it that we see that pushback? And there's an argument that goes, well, people just can't imagine a world other than the one that they live in.
Yeah.
They
imagining a world where things are like fixed and nothing is wrong. Imagining a utopia seems like ridiculous.
It just seems
itself, like that idea.
It's stupid. It's a dream. Why waste time on it?
Yeah.
When it's like we like capital WE, I guess, do see another way. Do we know that it's the right way? I suppose some of us do, but there, at the very least, we're dreaming, and in some ways, especially like at a local scale, our dreaming is becoming very tangible. Yeah. So I really think there's something to that. There's something really nice about it in some way. Like it's kind of depressing that like, oh, society loses their like one messiah figure and like then it all goes to shit, but like that's kind of fucking genuinely real.
Yeah. But it also like thinking about it that way is interesting in the terms of the story that we've been a part of for so long, because like okay, going off the idea of like, okay, all of the ancient machinery like is powered by the dreams of people. Luffy specifically being so unyielding in his dream of being the Pirate King is like the perfect user for Nika, but also like again all the way back. Dream. Yeah, the secret dream, and then all the way back to what Mihawk said about Luffy in Marineford, where he's like, you have like he's interesting to watch. Like,
Yeah.
I see why you like him, Shanks. Like, he has this innate ability to like to make he has this innate ability to like make allies wherever he goes. And I think part of that isn't just Luffy being like, oh, whatever. It's him. I mean, think about his journey up until now. Like, he's given people their hopes and dreams back. Like,
Yes.
whether intentional or not. You know, like, I mean, the Alabasta, like, that was, he gave an entire people like their hopes and dreams back. But like on a micro scale, it was all to help Vivi get her hopes and dreams back. To help her get her thing back. You even see like not even villains he's helped defeat, but like Law. Like he has helped Law, and even to an extent, like not as emotionally deep to an extent, but like Kid too, like the three of them. Like he's given Kid a sort of newfound like rivalry, like, okay, like we're not so different, like we're not so far off, you and I, like we like, yeah, like we're like, I actually have competition in this Pirate King thing with you, Luffy. Like, it's not just, you know, like he lost his arm and he lost his crew and everything, but it's like, you know, Luffy helped him, like they defeated Big Mom and everything. But even Law, like he gave Law a sort of sense of like
purpose.
Yeah, he gave Law his like sense of self and purpose back. Like Law was before the events of Dressrosa, like Law was on a suicide mission, just like he was when he was a child. Like he was ready to get to Dressrosa and die killing Doflamingo, and it was Luffy that showed him like, dude, like no, we can do this together and we can overcome anything. Like we can beat him. And then even I think that with Law is like culminated in Wano, where like, you know, he that scene of him in front of the poneglyphs and like after talking to Robin and stuff, realize like making that declaration of like, I'm gonna get to the end of this, like I'm gonna see what Corazon like I'm gonna see for myself what this history truly was.
I think.
And like, I mean, not even to go into like, you know, his crewmates who he believed, you know, the entire theming of the live action season 1 was like,
what are your dreams? Let's make them happen.
Yeah.
I really think that so like, I know I and a lot of people do get bothered with like the kind of like overt depiction of Luffy as an individual who is like great and is the one who imparts all this change individualistically and is the only reason it's happening. But it might be cope, it might be like something else, it might be projection. But I like to view what happens is like
he's like a catalyst. Like he doesn't.
Yes, he teaches people how to dream again in a very quick and like immediately impactful way. And the Revolutionary Army is doing the exact same as well. They're doing it without Luffy, and they're succeeding, granted, in the relative area without Luffy.
Yeah.
So it still would have happened at some point, and it wouldn't have happened in that case just because of like one individual or anything. It would have happened as collective action, as it should be, as is what is real.
Yeah.
But what is also real is we sometimes in real life also need a catalyst of our own to realize what the possibilities out there are.
Yeah.
And I like, this is a fucking doggy doo-doo ass fucking comparison. Like, please do not take this as me being like literal, but like Bernie Sanders, for example, for a lot of like millennials, was the person that showed like, we can do things different. If it stopped at Bernie Sanders or like it kept going is like a different thing. But like, he was genuinely the catalyst. Would I have found some form of leftism without Bernie Sanders' campaign? Probably, yeah. And in a very similar way to how you were talking about Law and how Robin sees, is like, I have, through my collegiate time, found like a newfound love of history. So I feel like I would have found it somewhere there, somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't like deny the fact that to some degree, like, what got things thinking more directly and more immediately for me was Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
For a lot of other people, there's probably a lot of other shit. Like, I mean, fucking like Tupac Shakur is one of the people who like legitimately championed for the most basic shit that like,
watch like any Tupac interview and it's like, dude, he's so like down to earth, but he's very like staunch, like, hey, this needs to happen, like this needs to be the way it is from now on.
Direct and precise with like what our specific needs are as American society, what our illnesses are, and what we can do to fix them. And I mean, shit, like a great like example that's like more tangible is this whole unionization like spree that's happening in the United States, right?
Yeah.
To us, it feels really unthinkable that this has happened recently. But if I think back to where this may have started, you could probably pin it to an individual, Chris Smalls, the guy who was unionizing one of the Amazon warehouses in New York.
Yeah.
And like, do people still see him as like an individual that like led to Amazon unionization and like other things? And like, do people maybe put him on a pedestal? Absolutely. On any side of the aisle, like you have the news media, like news outlets putting him on a pedestal where he's like, I'm a guy.
Yeah.
And he has just been a catalyst.
Yeah.
So,
and I appreciate the way that like it's depicted with Luffy in the story,
right?
Because like, I mean, again,
he's
lot
helping
of people,
his friends.
Yeah. He's presented in a very like, I don't give a fuck like what your problem is. Like, I'm doing this for me almost. I mean, the whole hero speech in Fishman Island. Like, I don't want to be a hero. Like, heroes have to share their food. I'm not sharing food. Like, y'all are crazy. But even like, I always go back to Fishman Island because that's the one thing. I mean, it's one of my favorite story arcs, but I do very much appreciate that like Luffy is never really presented as like the sort of white savior character that he could have been presented as in that story mode. Like Luffy very well, had it been any other author, been like, oh yeah, and then Luffy solved racism. Like, yes. It very well could have gone that way, but I love the way that Luffy is presented. Like, he was helping his friends, and even in the end, like the culmination of all of that was that even after saving all of Fishman Island, and like the pinnacle scene in Fishman Island where all the fishmen are surrounding Luffy and they're like, oh dude, you saved us, we're so happy, thank you. And then Chopper's like, he's lost a lot of blood, he needs an infusion. And everyone is silent. Yeah. And it's like, dude, he didn't fix, he was a catalyst, he put them on the proper path, but he didn't outright like fix the problems. And that, I do love that's, I think it's very fitting now that he has this fruit and like the meaning behind this fruit, because it fits his character so much, where it's like, he's not, like he fixes these problems inadvertently, but he aligns people's mindsets to where they need to be. Like, he didn't outright force Momo to be, like, he didn't make Momonosuke a good leader, right?
Yeah, not in the slightest.
He pushed back on Momo's thoughts and ideals about being a leader, and he told him straight up, like, no, like, like, you're a leader of your people, like, you need to act like one, like, tell me what to do, tell me you want me to be on, like, tell me you want me to be under you. And then that's what he did, and he's like, all right, that's all you needed to say. It's like,
and it's precisely the way that you would help out a friend.
Yeah.
Like, not out of anything else. Like, Luffy cares not about, like, who's a just monarch or who has rightful claim to a throne or whatever. Like, he does not care about, like, authority in any way. What he does care about is making sure that his friends' needs are met.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes. You brain blasted me, Jimmy Neutron style. Perfect example. The last anime episode just wrapped up the Kaido versus Luffy fight. The final attack against Kaido. It wasn't, oh, like, I'm gonna bring down your meritocracy, like, your time as emperor is up. His words were verbatim, I'm gonna make sure that my friend can eat her fill every night. Like, that's all this was about. It was about Otama was wronged by a system that was absolutely fucked, and the only reason he took down that system was because she couldn't eat her fill. Like, it's
I know it's like we share, like, opinions in the similar vein.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to, like, kind of, like, take a step back and be like, okay, it's not, like, complete cope. Like,
no, it's definitely not. Yeah.
Like, and at the same rate, I don't blame people for, like, going out and, like, thinking that it is some other way of, like, great man rhetoric type shit, that's what, like, is trying to be pushed. Because, like, that's what everything else we ever see is.
Yeah.
But, like, unironically, the people who make memes about giving Luffy a sandwich and then, like, freeze them of capitalism or, like, colonialism, whatever, like, those people unironically understand it more, provided that, like, what we're saying has, like, a leg to stand on.
Yeah. No, I definitely, I mean, I what you said is, I think, completely, like, 100%. Like, that's exactly how this story is being presented to us. Like, Luffy is not, Luffy is not, like, this person to be put on a pedestal in the story. He's not, like, the beginning and end of all of this stuff, but he is, like, he is the queen on a chessboard, where it's like, he's not the absolute pivotal piece. He, like, defeating him doesn't change, like, doesn't lose the game, but he is he could change the state of the game.
Yeah,
like,
turn the tides type thing.
Yeah. Luffy is Max C in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Max C discourse is so delicate. We cannot do a fucking tangent an hour and a half into recording. Don't run Max C. You don't have to. It's not even a fucking staple. Just don't do it.
Listen, if you play TCG format and you're not on OCG, go to your local Konami office and demand. Go to your local Konami Twitter account and demand that they legalize Max C.
It's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is getting insane amounts of play. Yes, I understand that, like, 95% of decks, literally 95% of decks, run Max C. But it's the kind of thing, like,
it's bad for the game because it centralizes the game around the card. It's like, okay, but what about Triple Tactics Thrust? And what about Triple Tactics Fan? What about, like, all the other things that the game revolves around? Like, search up any deck list of Yu-Gi-Oh! And there is a section of every Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck list video that might as well be the same minute and a half.
Yes.
For between everybody. Like, they should just share the same video
just
footage.
Max C. Dude,
Yeah.
I would 100%.
There's an entire section just called hand traps. So it's like, okay, these are the hand traps. Like, this is the engine I play for the deck, and then these are the hand traps, and it's Droll and Lockbird, Max or Effect Veiler,
Ghost Ogre.
Ghost Ogre, Ash Blossom. Like, it's like, okay, the game is already centralized. You're just picking and choosing which centralization is bad
Precisely.
or worse. And
like, the thing is like fucking, like, you don't actually win off Max C. Like, not in like an actual tangible sense. If you win off Max C, what you're winning off of is your opponent misplaying because, like, they, like, either didn't see Max C's activation or they didn't, like, have a contingency ready for it. Like, Max C's not unhealthy for the game. It is just, like, another step. There's a reason Mystic Mine got fucking shattered into a billion pieces. Yeah. But Max C lives in OCG.
Yeah.
Like, look, I have other complaints about OCG, namely, like, the best of one format. Yes. But Max C? It's fine.
Look, Max C is fine. Joy Boy Luffy is fine. Joy Boy is fine. Everybody, like, look. Luffy is Max C. Luffy, your favorite card game, any card that's broken and can change game states, like, almost immediately, that's Luffy. And you gotta think to yourself, you love that card. That card is awesome. Just like you love Luffy, and Luffy is awesome.
Luffy is awesome. For me, Luffy is Magic Cylinder.
Yes.
Dog, Magic Cylinder is better than Max C, unironically.
Okay. This is a perfect place to end it. We'll be back next week with... We're not on break, I don't think. No, chapter 1093? I don't think we're on break.
I don't know.
I think it said 6 days. Yeah, we're not on break. So we'll be back next week with 1093. And probably some cool information about whether we got good cards or bad cards that day.
Oh yeah, y'all are gonna hear next episode about our fucking gambling habits.
Yeah, if I am very excited at the start of next week's episode, just know you will know that I managed to get the Altart Doflamingo card. But
y'all will know how we manipulate the card market.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and follow us on all of our social media. We're at Paramecia Cast on Twitter, Paramecia Fancast everywhere else. Join the Discord, Paramecia Flower Capital. Permanent invite links are on all of our social media bios. We got a great community there. We have a whole bunch of people who play the TCG. The manga discussion is always lively and very spoiler
safe?
Careful,
yeah.
I guess. Spoiler safe. Yeah, you will not get spoiled unless you click on stuff like we do sometimes. Because brain sees clickable bar, I must click button.
Yes. But... I can, therefore I must.
Yeah. If you'd like to support the show in a free way, you can do so by listening to us on any of your favorite platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, iTunes, any of them on there. Like the show, subscribe to the show, set notifications, any sort of interaction with the show, leaving comments on episodes, ratings, any of that really does help push us through the algorithm. Like we've said before, you search up top 5 One Piece podcasts and we're always in the top 5 of all of them, and it's for a reason. We've done a really good job with SEO, but also word of mouth is very powerful. And
damn,
we appreciate
he says as if I've done any SEO stuff.
Oh!
Nah.
Yeah,
John's good about SEO.
We appreciate all of the support. If you'd like to support us in a monetary way, for putting money towards keeping the shows self-sufficient with our hosting site, getting fatter, longer episodes, and new equipment, patreon.com/Paramecia. You can join there and give any amount you feel comfortable and are willing to pay. And like we said, all the money goes towards keeping the hosting site self-sufficient. I no longer have to have it out of my credit card, which is cool. It is now coming out of viewers like you helping us, which is sick. And we were able to afford the bigger monthly limit. So now you get fatter episodes when we want to go on tangents, and we don't have to either edit down the tangent or just get rid of it altogether.
We're not censoring ourselves now.
Yeah. Shout outs to Chant, Maggie Rice, Ice Stomp, The Lost Crab Ragoon, Zach, Connor, Ashok Murthy, Corey Agra, Fuddy Clam, James Sullivan, David Brownfield, Sam Thompson, Charles Ruth, Ronald Miller, and Bandle Vandal. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. We truly appreciate it. Other than that, I feel like this time it was just no crack theory, just regular theory about hopes and dreams and Luffy being a catalyst. I can't think of anything.
I have to make an addendum or a correction. While Mirror Force is my personal favorite card, I will not say that Magic Cylinders is my personal favorite card, but I will retract the statement that it is better than Max C. I will now say that any of the Mirror Force cards are better than Max C. Because I forgot a Magic Cylinder, you have to target a monster, and unfortunately so many boss monsters nowadays cannot be targeted, which fucking sucks. But, not Mirror Force.
Mirror Force doesn't target.
It does not
kills
target
everything on the field
and
in attack position.
The best one, personally, is Drowning Mirror Force, because it takes all attack position monsters, shoves them into deck.
Hell
yes. Not back at hand, not like destroyed where they can go to your second hand, the graveyard. No, it goes into your deck. Unless you're playing fucking Tearlaments or some shit, your play is gone.
Yeah. Hell yes, dude. Magic Cylinder. Put Mirror Force in. No, don't put Mirror Force in the One Piece TCG. Could you imagine?
Dude.
Do we want to imagine? I think that's the
Hold on. A Buggy Ball event card.
Yes, a counter card.
Counter card. You minus your character leader's attack, but your opponent takes the same life damage.
Yeah.
With the same keywords. So if they use a banish character, they must also banish their own shit. If it's double attack, they must remove 2 life.
Dude, yes.
Bandai Namco, hit us up.
Come on.
Unironically. Actually, hold on. Who is their publicist?
Bandai. Let me into the card printing facility and let me cook, please.
No, we can't do that. That's dangerous.
Let us cook.
No Pinkertons, please.